distinction between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Distinction between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. See, there are different methods to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. See, whenever we are talking about the distinction between a pair of organic compounds, we think whether we can distinguish physically or chemically. If physically the substances are different in nature, that is, they are having different states, then easily we can distinguish. Or suppose they are having different colors in looking, also we can distinguish. So that's not a problem. So when the substances are physically appears same, suppose states are same, suppose all are liquid, all are solids, or both are having the same color, so they are the moment we need to distinguish them chemically. How they respond differently to different chemical reagents. So here primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols will have different response to different chemical reagents. Accordingly, we have different tests to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. One of them is what we call Lucas test. Number 1. Number 2, we have Victor-Meus's test. Number 3, also we can distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol by the method of oxidation. Also we can distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol also by the method of dehydrogenation, that is heating with the copper. Okay, so we have number 1, method of oxidation. Number 2, dehydrogenation. Number 3, Lucas test. Number 4, Victor-Meus's test. So these are the 4 different methods to distinguish between primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols. These are also the chemical properties of alcohol. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. First of all, the method of oxidation. The method of oxidation, how to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol by the method of oxidation. Can you see primary alcohols easily undergo oxidation with acidified potassium dichromate to give into aldehyde, then the aldehyde formed on further oxidation give carboxylic acid. You will see CH3, CH2 also primary alcohol, K2Cl2O7, H2SO4. From this we will get nasal oxidation. Now this nasal oxidation will react with this alcohol to give water aldehyde C3Cl1O HO and water molecule H2O will be removed. Now this aldehyde formed will again undergo oxidation with acidified potassium dichromate to give water carboxylic acid. That is water acetic acid. Acetic acid. This is water acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde is what your ethyl alcohol. So ethyl alcohol on oxidation with acidified potassium dichromate give acetaldehyde, and acetaldehyde on further oxidation gives acetic acid. Here you see the number of carbon atoms in this alcohol is 2, this aldehyde is 2, this is also 2. The number of carbon atom remains same here. Now next is your secondary alcohol. This you see CH3CH3OH. This isopropyl alcohol, secondary alcohol, are not easily undergoing oxidation with acidified potassium dichromate. We need some little strong oxidizing agent like our chromic anhydride CrO3. So this CrO3 this will undergo oxidation to give what your ketone, and ketones are generally not undergoing further oxidation easily. So here the secondary alcohol on reactor with the chromic anhydride CrO3 undergo oxidation to give ketone only. So this distinguishes secondary alcohol from the primary alcohol. This is what your acetone, this is your acetone, this is what your the isopropyl alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. Okay. Now when you come to tertiary alcohol, C3OH, tertiary butyl alcohol. This tertiary butyl alcohol or tertiary alcohols are not undergoing oxidation very easily. It requires a strong oxidizing agent to undergo oxidation. Okay, like nitric acid. So when we give nitric acid a strong oxidizing agent, then the tertiary alcohol will undergo oxidation to give ketone with one carbon less than the alcohol. You see 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon here, here 1, 2, 3 carbon here. Again, this ketone, as we have already discussed, ketones are not undergoing oxidation easily. However, with strong oxidizing agent like nitric acid, it gives what to carboxylic acid with one carbon less. So here you see in the tertiary alcohol, first of all, it undergo oxidation with a strong oxidizing agent like nitric acid to give ketone with one carbon less than the alcohol. Again, this ketone undergo oxidation with strong oxidizing agent like nitric acid to give carboxylic acid with again one carbon less than the alcohol. So here ketone one carbon less than the alcohol, again acid one carbon less than the ketone. So this distinguishes the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol by the method of oxidation. Okay, primary alcohol oxidation with the reminder oxidizing agent. Primary alcohol first give aldehyde, then gives acid, number of carbon atom remains the same. Secondary alcohol gives ketone, number of carbon atom remains the same. Tertiary alcohol first gives your ketone, one carbon less, then acid, again another carbon less. Okay, this is your acetic acid, acetone, and your tertiary butyl alcohol. Okay, so this is your method of oxidation to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. The second one is your method of dehydrogenation, that is heating with copper at 300 degrees centigrade. Dehydrogenation to distinguish between primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. You see here C3C2OH, primary alcohol, when heated at 300 centigrade in presence of copper, then we are getting what? C3CH. this alcohol undergo dehydrogenation. The hydrogen is removed and we are getting an aldehyde. Okay, so primary alcohol on catalytic dehydrogenation when heated at 300 centigrade in case of copper, then aldehyde is formed. Whereas in the same process we will do for the secondary alcohol, CH3CHOH3 isopropyl alcohol when heated at 300 centigrade in case of copper, then same dehydrogenation will take place with the formation of what? CH3COCH3 ketone. Okay, so secondary alcohol on dehydrogenation forms what? Ketone. At the same time, if you do the same process for the tertiary alcohol, C3C3COO, tertiary alcohol, tertiary butyl alcohol, when heated with the copper and 300 centigrade, then we will get what? CH3, double bond CH2. That is your alkene. Okay. So in case of tertiary alcohol, the alkene is formed. So what you can say? Primary alcohol on dehydrogenation, removal of H2 molecule, will get what? The aldehyde. Secondary alcohol on dehydrogenation, this what? The ketone. But here you see there is no dehydrogenation. Okay, but here what? CH3, C double CH2 plus what your H2O. Here dehydration takes place. So primary alcohol dehydration converted to aldehyde. Secondary alcohol dehydrogenation converts into ketone. Tertiary alcohol dehydration converts into alkene. So these are the three distinguishes between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol. Now the next method is the Victor-Mears test. To distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol. So in this test, we are going for a series of reactions, so many steps, and finally we are getting the conclusion. In this test, first of all, primary alcohol or secondary alcohol or tertiary alcohol, they are treated with red phosphorus and iron. So when you treat the alcohol with red phosphorus and iron, we are getting alkyl iodide. Now the alkyl iodide on further treatment with AgNO2, we are getting nitroalkanes. Now from this nitroalkanes, when we treat with nitrous acid HONO from a mixture of NaNO2, NaNO2 and cold HCl, now the products we are getting differently. When we have primary alcohol, we are getting this one the nitrolic acid. Secondary alcohol, we are getting the pseudo-nitro, and tertiary alcohol is not giving any product with the nitrous acid. Okay, so primary alcohol RCl2 also, red PI2, RCl2I. Also secondary alcohol R2CHOH, red PI2, R2CHI. Similarly, tertiary alcohol R3CO, red PI2, R3CI. So in all the three cases, we are getting the alkyl iodides. In the next step, when we give AgNO2, now RC2I gives the RCH2NO2. Now secondary R2CHO-NO2, tertiary R3CNO2. So in each case we are getting the nitroalkanes. The next step, when we are doing nitrous acid HONO from a mixture of NaNO2 and HCl, here you see in the primary case we are getting RC double bond NO2 called nitric acid. In secondary we are getting the R2CNO2 called pseudo-nitron, but tertiary alcohol is not giving any product. Then after, when this product formed is treated with base or when it is made alkaline with K also, in case of primary alcohol we are getting a blood red color. In case of secondary alcohol we are getting a blue color, and as already it was no action on HONO, also when we are getting K also there is no action. So this distinguishes primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Okay, primary alcohol, PI2, alkyl iodide, AgNO2, RNO2, nitroalkane, then HONO, nitric acid, K also made alkaline, blood red color. Secondary alcohol, red PI2, alkyl iodide, AgNO2, nitroalkane, then HONO is pseudo-nitron, K also blue color. Tertiary alcohol, red PI2, alkyl iodide, AgNO2, nitroalkane, HONO, no action, K also no action. So in this way we can distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol by the Victor-Mearsau test. Now the next is your Lucas test. Next method is your Lucas test. How can we distinguish primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol by Lucas test? Here we are using a reagent called Lucas reagent, which is a mixture of concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. So a mixture of concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2 is called the Lucas reagent. And when this Lucas reagent is treated with different alcohols, then different results are obtained. As you know, towards the HCl, the primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols are having the different reactivity. Here, tertiary alcohols are more reactive than secondary alcohol than primary alcohol towards the Lucas reagent. That is your concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2. So when primary alcohol is treated with Lucas reagent, that is the concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2, then alkyl halides are formed along with the water. In the secondary alcohol also the same result obtained. Secondary alcohol treated with concentrated HCl and anhydrous ZnCl2, then also the haloalkane is obtained along with the water, and so also the tertiary alcohol, haloalkane along with the water. And these haloalkanes are immiscible in water. So this results the formation of cloudiness or milkiness. So milkiness appear in case of primary alcohol, in case of secondary alcohol, and also in case of tertiary alcohol. But the milkiness in tertiary alcohol appears immediately. In secondary alcohol, the milkiness appears after 5 minutes on warming, whereas in case of primary alcohol, the milkiness appears on heating. Okay, so here you see the primary alcohol CH3CH2 concentrated ZnCl2 anhydrous, we are getting what? CH3CH2 plus H2. So this appears cloudy or milkiness, and this milkiness appears on heating. In case of secondary alcohol, CH3CH3 concentrated HCl, ZnCl2, similarly haloalkane and H2 also episode milkiness or cloudiness on warming after 5 minutes. So, and in tertiary alcohol you see same thing happen, but milkiness appears here immediately. And this is because of the different reactivity of the alcohols. Tertiary are more reactive than secondary and primary. So this also indicates a distinction between primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol. So simply, if you take an alcohol, now treat with your Lucas reagent, if immediately the milkiness appears, then it's a tertiary alcohol, and like that. Okay. So anhydrous SO2 and concentrated HCl is known as Lucas reagent, and Lucas reagent is having different action with different alcohols. So these are the different methods to distinguish between primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohol.